Okay, let's bring in Dave Aronberg, State Attorney of Palm Beach County. Dave, thank you for your time here. So let's focus on what Brian was just talking about, that juror who was removed today. How could that change things here? Does that change the dynamic at all?
Good to be with you, Nichole. I don't think it's going to change much. I mean, it's a pity for someone who has been attentive for 3 weeks in this case to be told right now, see ya, sayonara. But you can't violate the judge's rules about talking about the case with others. You can have your own thoughts, but you can't communicate them with other members of the jury. It's a real no-no, so I'm not surprised she was bounced. I don't think it'll have an impact on the case. That's what alternate jurors are for. Okay, so impact on the case. Did you see anything today that you think could change anyone's mind? No, but I did like the rebuttal close by that prosecutor. That's not the normal prosecutor, Creighton Walters. The guy they had at the end was very folksy. He talked like a local, not like some city slicker from elsewhere. And I think that will resonate with the jury, especially because this is a real common sense case. Come on. I mean, the guy lost his son and his wife in the worst possible way, and he lied about his whereabouts from the beginning. He lied about his alibi. He lied about his last communication with them and when he last spoke to them. Why? Why would someone do that unless he's the murderer himself? And Alex Murdaugh's excuse is, well, the opioids made me lie, made me so paranoid that I became a massive liar, but not so paranoid that he would kill. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Well, so speaking of who we saw today, do you think it's odd that we did not see Dick Harpootlian, particularly at such a pivotal point in this case, in this trial? No, I think what happens is that they just shift up the responsibilities. This is a long case and a lot of evidence. And I just think that they switch it up so that they can focus on certain things. Like you saw, the last word the jury heard was from the second prosecutor, not the main prosecutor himself, Creighton Walters. And I just think it means they're just trying to maximize their attention span. We're all human, and you can't do it all ourselves. All right, so let's talk about the length of deliberations here. What works best for each side? And then I want to talk about a hung jury, but I want to talk about that separately. Just as far as just length of deliberations, what is better for each side? Oh, Nichole, we prosecutors talk about this all the time. We think, well, a quick verdict is bad because it means that we didn't reach our high burden of proof, and all it takes is one juror. For a hung jury, unanimous, reasonable doubt, and it's an acquittal. And if you're going to put someone in prison for the rest of their lives, you're probably going to deliberate and deliberate and deliberate because it's a weighty decision. If it's a quick decision, you'd think, all right, that's it. It's not going to be good for the prosecution. But I've been involved with cases before where the opposite is true. So this is a traditional parlor game amongst prosecutors and defense lawyers. And the only thing you know is this. The only thing predictable about juries is that they're notoriously unpredictable. Unpredictable. Okay. So, Dave, let's talk about a hung jury. A lot of people feel like this is likely to end up being a hung jury. Kind of explain what that means, and then how would things proceed if that is, in fact, the case? There are 12 jurors, and they have to be unanimous to get a conviction or unanimous for an acquittal. But all it takes is one juror with reasonable doubt, and then the jury is hung. If it's not unanimous, it's a hung jury. Now, what will happen is they'll take a vote at the beginning, and the vote could be like 7-5, 8-4, and then they'll work it out. They'll deliberate. And if after a couple days it still is not unanimous one way or the other, the jury will tell the judge, and the judge will say, go back and keep deliberating. And then after enough days of this, then the judge will declare a hung jury, and it's a mistrial, and then it's up to the prosecutors to do it again. I think there is a very good chance this will end up in a hung jury, because although I think the prosecution met their burden of proof, I was concerned that reportedly there were 2 jurors who cried in sympathy along with Alex Murdaugh last Thursday. All right. So last question for you, Dave. Do you think, based on what you just told us, maybe prosecutors are playing it safe here, trying to play the long game? If they don't get, in fact, that guilty verdict, they already have him admitting multiple times under oath to lying and stealing millions of dollars. Yeah, that's a great point. No matter what happens here, I think Alex Murdaugh will spend most, if not the rest of his life, behind bars because he admitted to a series of financial crimes that are serious. And prosecutors took notice. They are bringing charges, and they'll get a much easier guilty verdict than they will in this case. But I still think they've got a good shot at getting the just verdict, in my mind, in this case, which is guilty.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.